John, welcome to the show, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, Cable. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, brother. So you are joining us from Tucson, Arizona.
That is correct. The warm state of Arizona.
Yeah, I've never been hunting in Arizona. I've been to went to a bachelor party. We went to the Waste Management Open, and I mean, golf's not really my thing. I don't dislike it. I'll play, but I'd rather go hunting. So it's a time investment that I look at the amount of hours. I'm like, nah, I just don't know if I want to do that. But the Waste Management Open was fun. I mean, saw a bunch of ridiculous people doing ridiculous
Yeah.
things. So
I
yeah,
mean, Arizona offers a lot of opportunity for non-residents. We do have the bonus point system, so that is kind of I don't know, it's got its pros and cons. I applied for New Mexico that has no bonus point system or preference point system, so it's all random. So you feel like your odds are a little better to get drawn eventually.
yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I
but
don't apply in Arizona. I did for a couple years. Then I was like, I got tired of paying for the license just to. How much is the license? It's a couple $100 or something, or $175. And I was like, by the time I draw in Arizona, I could have just paid for a guided elk hunt. It may
somewhere,
take,
yeah.
I mean, well, give or take a couple $1,000s, but you're gonna have spent. What does it take the average guy, non-resident, to draw? 20 years, 20 points.
Depending on what you're looking for, like a premium early archery TED, probably takes around 15 points.
Mm. Yeah.
So, but if you want like the trophy rifle TED, yeah, it's gonna take upwards of 20 points, 25 points. So,
Mm.
but I mean,
Uh,
Arizona has the largest elk in the world.
right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of
Supply
depends
and
on,
demand.
yeah.
I didn't know. I was coming back from a elk hunt in New Mexico. Was staying in a hotel, and I was talking to a guy who had just gotten back from um, pronghorn hunting in Arizona. I didn't
Mhm.
realize you guys had a bunch of nice pronghorn as well.
We do have some nice pronghorn.
I think he said he had 13 or 14 points or something like that when he drew this unit.
Yeah, sounds about right. It's tough. I probably will. I mean, my chances of drawing an Arizona premium antelope tag are pretty low. Uh, I have shot a pronghorn antelope in New Mexico, private
Yeah.
land stuff.
Hmm.
The antelope are fun, but yeah, the largest antelope come from Arizona and New Mexico. So I
Hmm.
think it switches back and forth depending on rainfall. But we have a great outfitter in Arizona. Um, So Pronghorn Guide Service, they kill the biggest antelope in the world. So
Mm-hmm. So why? I mean, Arizona's a very arid state. You know,
sure.
uh, why do you guys have such big animals?
We don't have harsh winters, no harsh winter kills.
Uh-huh.
Um, we don't have a ton of wolves. Uh, I think
Yeah.
it's the mild climate that kind of keeps things going.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And the thing with the there's a lot of cattle ranching around, so there is available water to cattle, so there's available water to wildlife, and then the Arizona Department of Game and Fish, they also have wildlife water catchments and wildlife waterers, and so that's kind of one of the projects that the Arizona Chapter Safari Club International does is we refurbish and upkeep many of the wildlife water catchments in southern Arizona.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, we're going to talk about that
Okay.
in detail. But are there opportunities for non-residents to come hunt Arizona? Um, any secrets that doesn't require 15 or 20 years of applying?
For sure, there is archery deer.
Uh-huh.
That is like a first come, first serve online
That's for coues deer.
goose deer or mule deer.
Okay.
So that is an option. Also, we do have quail hunting. You can shoot three species of quail in one day.
Yeah.
You know, you can shoot the Mearns quail, the Gambler's quail, and the scale quail here in southeast Arizona.
So I
Javelina
when
hunting's pretty easy to draw. Javelina
okay.
tag.
Yeah, I'd never seen such urban quail. When we went there for my brother's bachelor party, we stayed in a house outside of Phoenix. And I mean, there's just scaled quail just running around the neighborhoods. Never seen that before.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And we don't. I mean, we have quail in Texas, but you don't see them in urban settings like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I live, like on the edge of town, and I get quail, bobcats, mule deer, javelina. Javelina are like a big nuisance around here. You can't leave your trash can out too long, or they'll knock it over and eat it. But
Uh-huh.
uh, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. I've been
Well, I guess you could
hunting.
do a mountain lion hunt if you wanted to hire a guide. You guys have,
I mean, you can buy. For a resident, a mountain lion tag is $17, right?
yeah,
For a non-resident, it's not that expensive, and yeah, you could
right,
hire a guide to do that, or there's bear hunting, archery bear, general bear, rifle bear. You can hire a guide for that. You can even hunt with dogs in Arizona currently.
yeah.
Um, some people try to get rid of that, but luckily the state was in favor of not getting rid of it. So
They're always trying, man. I've done a bear hunt with hounds in New Mexico, uh, southern New Mexico. It was awesome. But dogs are such a vital tool as far as aging, as far as shooting the right bear, right? I mean, you put a
oh yeah,
bear in a tree, well, you know exactly what you're looking at. Uh,
exactly.
a lot of times you don't know if you're spot and stalk. I mean, people generally have an idea, but mistakes are made. But you know exactly what you're looking at if it's 20 yards up in a tree.
Yeah, you can
So as
tell if
far
it's
as
a sow or a boar, right?
yeah, how old it is, more give or take a year or two.
Right.
So okay, so there's the Arizona opportunity for non-residents. What's your favorite thing to hunt?
Favorite thing to hunt, the coues white-tailed deer.
Okay, why is that?
It's lots of opportunity in southern Arizona. Challenging. They're not big animals. 100 pounds,
Yeah.
and they're pretty neat looking. And you gotta be on your game. You gotta glass a lot. You gotta have good optics. You gotta be able to shoot 400 yards plus for the most
Mhm.
part. Um, and the country they live in is pretty diverse. You can shoot big bucks in some of the flat stuff. You can shoot big bucks in the steep, nasty country too. Um, and they're not everywhere in their country. New Mexico, Arizona, and Mexico.
Yeah, I shot one in Mexico. What would you say is a big coos deer?
I'd say if you shoot anything over 100 inches, it's pretty big.
I got I got a 115-inch
There you go.
typical 8 point. Was My buddy was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, dude! He's killed quite a few coos deer, and he just was
Hmm.
like mesmerized by the symmetrical rack. He shot one with a drop tine. When this was in
Hmm.
Sonora, and I really wanted to shoot the drop tine buck, and he really wanted to shoot the typical, but it didn't. We had pictures of them,
Yeah.
but still finding these things took days. Even though we had nighttime pictures of them, like you said, glass your butt off, uh, and it was super fun hunt. Um, I don't know if that's one that I'll do again, though. I mean, it's expensive. Maybe I'll come hunt them with you in Arizona. You seem to you seem to know what you're doing with them.
Yeah. That's the thing that you can go pay in Mexico, or you can draw a tag in Arizona, spend a little bit less and have a little more control of where you go
Mm.
and things like that. Hunt public land. Mexico is all private, kind of like Texas, right?
Oh yeah.
Uh, so we've been hunting Mexico since 2009. Had a great time. Killed some big bucks.
Oh, you've been to Sonora.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right on.
Um, my buddy and I have been going since 2009, and it's been all DIY stuff, right?
In
Buy the
Mexico.
tag in Mexico, buy the tag, get the gun permit, and just run down there in our trucks and figure it out, right?
Wow. Okay.
Bring your own food or hire a cook, things like that. So
Uh-huh. See, I
it's
didn't
been
even
fun.
realize Mexico had that the opportunity to do DIY.
Yeah, there's even outfitters that'll sell you like a DIY option tag, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So they'll do like the paperwork end. They'll get you the permit, they'll get you the tag, and then they tell you where to go, when to show up, and how to get there. And they
Mhm.
may even drive you down there too, right? I think most people will get you to the ranch and help you with the border crossing with your firearms and things like that. So,
Yeah.
but it's a it's a less expensive option
So what's the biggest buck you've shot down there?
in Mexico.
Yeah.
118 incher.
Damn. That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
118 inch buck. We saw him one year and didn't get it done, and then we saw him the next year on the exact same day in the exact same place.
Love it. I love it when
Which is
stuff
nice
like that
about
happens.
Mexico, right? You can find a
Yeah.
place where there's no pressure.
Uh-huh.
They don't get hunted quite a bit, so they get to that age class where they can really put on the inches.
Uh-huh.
There are some ranches that get hunted a lot, get passed around from outfitter to outfitter, so you got to do your homework a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's some places that haven't been hunted for 10 years, and so you have the opportunity to find something that's really up in that age class that can reach its full potential. And that's the
Uh-huh.
one thing that really helps those coues deers, being able to live long enough to put on those inches.
Yeah. Yeah, and for anyone listening, you're talking about a coues deer that's 100 pounds, and you say 100 inches is a big one. That
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a lot, um, but like shooting one that was 115, or in your case 118. I mean, that's the equivalent of shooting like 180, 190 inch whitetail, big deer,
Oh
big
yeah.
coues deer. Just
Yeah.
to
I mean,
put it in
like
perspective, I mean that's a big buck.
yeah, antler compared to body size, it's a big
Uh-huh.
buck.
Hmm. Well, that's cool. You don't find a lot of people that are super passionate about coues deer hunting.
Yeah. Most of them live in southern Arizona.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's some people that are some that there's a lot of mule deer guys in Arizona too, because we got some of the largest mule deer in the country too in the Arizona Strip.
Uh-huh.
The Kaibab Plateau. I mean, I think the Kaibab Plateau could probably potentially grow the largest mule deer in the world if they reduce the number of tags every year. But
Hmm.
it's a tough management situation opportunity versus trophy quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. I did meet one other guy who was obsessed about coues deer. And he's done this guy, I forgot his name. I have his number saved in my phone, but he was in Sonora when I was there in this coues deer camp. He's done 3 super slams, taken all 20, what is it, 28, 29, 29 North American
mhm.
species. Done it 3 times. And his favorite thing to hunt is coues deer. And he is in Mexico. He spends the entire month of January in Mexico hunting coues deer. like he's
That'd
obsessed
be
with it.
amazing. That'd be
I forgot his
amazing.
name, but super nice guy. He actually scored my buck.
Okay. Official
He's a
measure.
official SCI measurer. Yeah.
All right.
'Cause I don't really care about score unless it's a whitetail deer. Then I do. Everything else, I'm just after a nice representative trophy, right? I mean,
Yeah. That's how I am. Whatever gets me excited, right?
hmm, hmm.
I always try to hold out for something big, but if I get excited, bullets are gonna fly, Dad.
Yeah, yeah. So in your email, in our email exchange, you sent me a photo of a buck you took in Colorado, a mule deer. That was your
Hmm.
first time mule deer hunting in Colorado?
That was my first time hunting in Colorado.
For anything?
I for anything, yeah.
Okay, right on.
First time took a rifle to Colorado or a bow, right? First time
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
so I used a application service called The Draw. They're out of
Uh-huh.
New Mexico, out of Las Cruces,
Mm-hmm.
and talked to them a little bit. Told them, I'm pretty capable. I don't need anything giant. I want to go hunting, so I don't want to wait, 10, 15 years. I said, all right, well, you can apply for this and you may draw it this year, or you can buy a preference point this year and you'll definitely draw it next year. So I said, all right, why don't we do that? So put in for the preference point the previous year, drew the tag the next year, and then did a lot of uh, scouting on Onyx, putting a lot of waypoints and just looking at terrain where I think mule deer would like to hang out. And let's see, the summer of this year, 2025, there was a big fire kind of in that area,
Right.
uh, up by Meeker. And I'm not too afraid of fires. I like hunting old burns,
Hmm.
especially fresh burns. Feel like there's enough growth in there to get some of those deer and elk back in there. And
I've seen multiple elk get shot in a burn, you know,
yeah,
yeah, with the bow.
so I wasn't too worried about that. So drove up there, and I had all my A, B, C, D plans, right? Like where I wanted to check out. So I had a day and a half to kind of scout around, drive around. A buddy of mine went with me, and on the way up there, it rained a lot, like from Flagstaff, basically all the way to, I want to say, Grand Junction. It rained as we were driving.
Hmm.
So a lot of my plans kind of went out the went out the window because some of those forest roads are pretty slick. I mean,
Yeah.
we attempted it in some spots and got in there, but I just really didn't want to get stuck out there on it. Some of those roads in Colorado, they're pretty steep. Like in Arizona, you like to go to the top of a mountain. It's a long, winding road, but in Colorado, man, they go straight up. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, this is not fun. So went with plan C, and we hiked in about 3 miles. You know, in our scouting around, we saw more mule deer bucks in a day and a half than we saw all of last year in southern Arizona. There's a
Well, I
ton of
need to
mule
go
deer
where
in
you went
Colorado.
because were you there third rifle?
We were their second rifle.
Okay, I went third rifle, uh, just basically just north of the Arizona border, um, and it was terrible. I mean, it was hot. If there would have
Hmm.
been snow, I think we would have had a lot of success. But it was hot, and there was a lot of elk hunters, and just over the counter. And it took us. We all had 5 points, our group. So apply for
Hmm.
5 years, burn our points. And my buddy David shot a buck on the last day. I saw one shooter through a spotting scope at 1,000 yards in 6 days of hunting, and we saw lots of forkies and does and stuff. But man, it was tough. Just couldn't get on them. And
Yeah, no, Colorado for me is like
so it's great that
where
you
we
went to a
were.
place where it's like, and only
Like,
took you, only
yeah,
took you 2 points to get it to apply there, and you
yeah.
saw a lot of deer.
And I
Yeah,
shot a buck in the first 30 minutes of lethal shooting line, right? Like, oh, there's a nice one. Let's go
uh,
shoot it.
yeah.
So, um, I was doing some research online and reading things and finding YouTube videos of people hunting the second rifle season in that general area, right? And I was a little concerned about pressure and people because, like you said, there's also like a rifle elk hunt going on.
The
Most of the
Orange Army.
people,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the first time I ever had to wear orange,
yeah.
hunter's orange, right? You had a
Uh-huh.
hunter's orange hat and like so many square inches on your upper body,
Mhm.
which is odd for me because like I don't ever wear that stuff. I had to buy it, right? Like I had to go buy a vest and all that stuff. So I was concerned about pressure and like the amount of people. But when we hiked in there those 3 miles, we really didn't have any issues with pressure at all.
See that where we were, and I'm not saying there were places within our unit. We had 2 units we could hunt. Um, there were places where you could have done that, but
Hmm.
we had one of the hunters' dads came, and they brought a little camper, and that kind of limited us to. We didn't want to ditch him, and so we stayed closer to where roads were when we hike in, maybe a mile or something.
Yeah.
And man, people don't respect the law of like you can't bring a side by side in here. I don't know how many people I saw. Actually, I was talking to the game warden opening day. He was like, "All right," he was very nice. I showed him the buck that I'd glassed up. It was across the highway. He's like, "Show me how he thought I should get over there."
Hmm.
And he's like, "I gotta go. I know this guy went in here on his side by side. I gotta go deal with him, give him a ticket." And then I kept going the direction he went. Like I looked at this buck for a while and figured out a game plan to try to get on him that afternoon, and just kept piddling along the road there. Ended up met back up with him, and he had his winch out and he was dragging a log across where the guy with the ATV went in, so that when he came back, he would have to stop and he'd write him a ticket. So he's blocking his way out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah. So we had a ton of. It wasn't pressure from other deer hunters. It was just the elk hunters, really. Dude, I'm sitting on a ridge one time, and here comes a guy in orange, just walking up, and he sees me, and they had seen where I parked my truck, and they drove their side by sides over there. I guess parked close to where I had parked, and then walked up the ridge, and he he comes up to me. He's like, "You might want to go to the bottom of the ridge, man. There's 5 of us. We're trying to push all the elk down. We got guys lined up on the bottom to try to shoot them." I'm like, "Oh, great."
I'm
So
out of
that's
here.
the kind of stuff you had to deal with, but it's public land. They have the right to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter about it. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, it was tough. I've
Yeah,
had
I had like 4 units I could hunt, right? A lot of it was pretty high wilderness stuff,
mm,
flat tops wilderness, and um, I didn't feel like there'd be a ton of deer in there at that time.
mm.
So I hunted some of the lower stuff, uh, that fed into some private property type
Was there
stuff.
snow already on the ground up there?
There was snow in areas on some north facing stuff, but not a ton at
Yeah.
all. No,
Okay.
I usually like to hunt a little bit of snow.
Uh-huh.
Um, just makes things a little easier to make those animals pop, and you can see if
Oh, for
there's
sure.
fresh sign in the area and things like that. And those mule deer and a lot of those elk, if there's some snow, they like to hang out in that snow a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah. We could have used some snow to push them down for sure. Um, so okay, so you got a nice buck there first day. What else? What else did you get into this fall?
Personally, nothing. The only other tags I have some sandhill grain tags in New Mexico. That's the beginning of 2026.
Tags. You have to get tags for those things. That's so
Yeah,
foreign to a
a Texas
Texan. We
tag.
just go out
Yeah,
to the Panhandle and you can shoot 3 a day.
yeah. So I get to shoot 3 a day, but I only get 2 days to hunt. Right, but
Okay.
it's a draw. Same with Arizona. It's a draw.
Oh wow. Well,
So
have you eaten crane before?
yeah, I shot some last year in New Mexico as well.
Oh, so
So
good. Yeah.
and it's fun. Like there's the first time I ever went. Figured them out, and you gotta just be in the right spot at the right time because I just hunted public land, right? I didn't have any access to any fields or anything like that. There are some like hunter access program fields in the area I was, and it was fun.
So you just
I'd
pass
love
shoot
to do it.
them, figure them out, and then just pass shoot them, or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as they're flying over me into somebody else's fields. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
One the
it takes a good long time for those big birds to hit the ground, man. You shoot
oh, it's
one, you're
so
like,
fun.
wham, it hits the ground.
Yeah.
So fun.
The first time I ever hunted cranes, I was with my buddy out in like around Lubbock, Texas, and we were pheasant hunting. And he looked at his watch and he's like, "Oh, we gotta go, we gotta go." And he's like, "Grab your stuff, we're going." And we're like, where are we going? He's like, "The cranes are gonna be flying over." Like, he had them patterned to a T. So we drove to a new spot and got out and like he grabs 2 burlap sacks out of the back of his truck. He's like, "Here, cover yourself with this and follow me." We sprint over to the middle of this field and lay down with these burlap sacks. And I mean, we had our 6 cranes in like 10 minutes. He was like, "Here they come." Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, knew exactly what those cranes were gonna do. No
I thought it was
decoys. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Like after I shot some cranes, you're standing out there celebrating, picking up your cranes, and there's still cranes flying over you, right? I was
Mhm.
like, well, they're not afraid of me out here, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I had these blinds and all this stuff that I had built, but like as soon as you go pretend to shoot one with a shotgun, boom, they spread out. They know
Oh
what's
yeah.
going on. They've been shot at for thousands of miles all the way down from Canada. They know what's up.
Uh huh. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've done it with. We have a lot of great outfitters in the Panhandle too, and I mean, that's like in your face, landing in the decoys. That nothing beats that. A lot of fun. Um, so, how often can you get a coues deer tag then in Arizona?
Uh,
Like,
I can get a
What
cruise.
is an annual deal for a resident? Like, what can you hunt every year?
You can hunt for the most part javelina and cruise deer every year.
Okay.
Draw tags, right?
Uh huh. Okay. And then, other than Mexico, have you done any other international hunting?
I have not.
on the bucket list?
Uh, Nothing really international. I'd like to go shoot some Sitka white-tailed deer in
Okay.
southeast Alaska.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Other than that, that's about it as far as like what I really want to do.
Hmm.
I like public land, America stuff like that.
Well, so you don't really fit the narrative of the SCI stereotype that I think a lot of people associate with Safari Club International, the rich, old, fat, white guys that just hunt internationally. I mean, you are just said you like hunting public land. You're kind of a homebody. You like hunting here, and
Yeah, that's the thing that Safari Club International's working to overcome is that stereotype that you mentioned.
yeah,
Um, I mean, there's all kinds within the organization. There are those people who prefer to hunt overseas in Africa, like that type of hunting, that style, or they like to do it all. Like they do public land, they do overseas. I mean, I
yeah,
know guys that do it all, right?
that's me.
They enjoy hunting. Right?
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
but yeah,
yeah,
SCI has made an investment in understanding that those guys are they exist and they for a long time carry the weight of the club, right? I mean, but they're not going to be around forever. So
right.
where's the future? Well, it's guys. How old are you?
I'm 41,
Okay, I'm 44. So we're that next generation, and then
right?
we have to continue to recruit the people, the next generation after us.
Yeah.
So SCI has made an investment in that and sees the value, and I mean, like we have to do it. There's no alternative. So
Yeah,
that's great. And you're the president of the Arizona chapter.
correct. I've been the president for the past 3 years. I was interim president for a year before that, and I was treasurer for a good number of years. I was I volunteered 1 year or things like that, and then they sucked me in, right? Like, oh, we need you to
Mm-hmm.
do this, we need you to do that, and I enjoy it, right? I enjoy helping. I enjoy the youth camps that we put on, and I enjoy working with a lot of the people that you become friends with on the volunteer list or the board of directors and accomplish things for conservation and education.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the one of my joys in life that this is just wildlife conservation, and so it affords me the opportunity to do that with like-minded people in the area where we live, where our kids are going to grow up, where we grew up. It's a great opportunity. It and it definitely, it's a small knit community as far as the people who volunteer. Um, you know, there are quite a few number of NGOs, non-government organizations in the state that focus on wildlife conservation. Some are animal specific, like the Arizona Elk Society, Arizona Deer Association, things like that. Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, National Wild
Mm-hmm.
Turkey Federation. Safari Club International is a little different because we're not, animal specific, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
first for hunters, whether you hunt squirrels or zebras, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that people don't understand. They just see that stereotype. Oh, it's just, hunting Africa. I mean, that is a big portion. Like hunters right across the world is what Safari Club International works for, and that includes Africa stuff. It includes stuff out of Eastern Europe. It includes stuff out of South America, but it also does work in the United States as far
Yeah.
as mountain lion bands, hunting with hound bands. Um, and for those people who like to hunt international, it helps with those, import trophy bands, right? I mean,
No, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. We just had Chris Dorsey on of Sporting Classics recently, and just talking about how ineffective import bans really are. Because he went up to Canada, he went to Nunavut, shot a polar bear. That was number 29 on his Super Slam, and then he wrote an article in Forbes, and he didn't even he's a Forbes contributor pretty regularly, and it's great that we have a voice in a place where you wouldn't think there'd be a pro hunting
yeah, that's a corporate world, right?
stance, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he writes for Forbes, and he didn't even mention the fact that he killed a polar bear in the piece. He just went there to basically, well, why are polar bears the face of climate change, and is that realistic? And it's not, because he watched these bears, observe them killing seals on dry land. So it's like these bears. There's more bears today than there was when they were put on the import ban list by, I think it was the second Bush administration. Um, they've increased their numbers by 5,000, and the same amount of bears are getting shot regardless. I mean, the Indians, the locals get the bear tags, and they're going to utilize them or they're going to sell them. It's not like they're just be like, no, we're not going to shoot the bears. Bears are getting shot
Right.
regardless. And but what you've done is you've really de-incentivized American hunters to go there and spend money. Why?
Sure. Yeah.
Why? Spend the money on the bears. Uh, help the local community. Put a value back on these polar bears. So, but yeah, he basically was like, yeah, this whole thing of the polar bear being the face of climate change is a bunch of hogwash. You know, that's what the Forbes piece was essentially about. With stats, he backed it all up with statistical data and firsthand accounts from his guide that's lived there and hunted these things for 40 years. So, but yeah, that's one thing for sure that SCI focuses on is import bans.
Yeah. And I mean, SCI is fortunate to have an advocacy team that sits in Washington, D.C. They've got a building there. And they're one of the only organizations that have, staff attorneys working every day on Capitol Hill to make sure that uh, hunters' rights aren't infringed upon. So that's one of the key pieces about SCI that I like is that they're there on the front lines every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they've got the Hunters Embassy right there in DC.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a big fan, obviously, of SCI and the fact that they have um, an understanding, like we talked about, of recruiting this next generation. I also like Sportsman's Alliance. That's a great organization as well,
Mhm.
as far as keeping tabs on all of 50 states is a lot to monitor. But between
Oh
SCI and
yeah.
Sportsman's Alliance, if you are a member of those two organizations, you're going to find out where and how our rights are under attack in all 50 states. So,
What's also nice about this our Safari Club International Organization is the chapter structure, right?
mhm,
So uh, if a chapter is established, their fundraising, they get to keep 70% of their largest fundraising event, right? And use it however they feel they want to use it.
mhm,
They don't have to send it back to headquarters and then submit a grant request and it be approved or denied, right?
mhm,
We send 30% to national. We get to spend 70% however we want. If it's on fishing poles for kids, if it's on food for junior deer camps, if it's buying GPS crawlers for research surveys with the University of Arizona or the Arizona Game and Fish Department, we get to decide how we spend that money, which is nice. So that's
yeah,
one
and
thing
I've
that
been a member of other conservation organizations where 90% of the money went back to national, and at the end of the day, you're scratching your head and be like, but we did all this work, and yeah, it's for a good cause, but how does it benefit what we want to do here?
right.
And so, yeah, it's a much more productive model when the chapter has control of the revenue that they've created to an extent. So, so you're the president of the Arizona chapter. I want to talk about this recent project that you guys. Is it finished? Done? Is
It's
it
finished,
ongoing?
done.
Okay. So, um, you talked about some of the water catchments that
Hmm.
Arizona Game and Fish has, I guess, put up throughout the last 60 years or so. But this video, Bo sent me this. It's one of the catchments has a date etched into the concrete, and it's 1958, and it
Yeah.
looks like the thing hasn't been touched since 1958. I.e., it's not holding water anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's still holding water, but it's not very efficient, right?
Right.
Anything left unmanaged is going to deteriorate. I mean, and that's what we're there to do is bring it back up to its most efficient status.
Right.
And so it's basically a concrete triangle or concrete apron that was poured in the 1950s, right?
Hmm.
And it feeds into underground holding tanks of about 2,000 to 3,500 gallons storage capacity, depending on the model or whatever tank they decide to put underground that year. And over time, there are concrete cracks. Uh, uh, Brush grows up through the cracks or hangs over the edge, and it drops in debris and things like that. And so we do all the landscaping, make sure that nothing's interfering with the water falling into the apron, and we make sure that the cracks are sealed and that the apron gets sealed so that it whatever precipitation does take place in that area, we capture the majority of it.
And so you guys invest not only money but also your time because you're the ones that are going out there and repairing them.
That's correct. So yeah, we sometimes we buy the materials, sometimes the department, the Arizona Game and Fish Department provides the materials, but for the most part, we buy the materials and we go out there and do all the labor.
And are you working in conjunction with other chapters, or is this just specific to your chapter?
This is just specific to the Arizona chapter.
Okay. And so investing your time and money into
Hmm.
providing the ultimate life-giving resource to wildlife. Uh,
Yeah, and some of our volunteers are, members of other wildlife organizations. We get a lot of help from the Arizona Mule Deer Organization, Region 5 South and Region 5 North. But I'm a member of various organizations, so like the Arizona Antelope Foundation, Arizona Mule Deer Organization. So I mean, it's just a project where we solicit volunteers and anybody can come help. You don't have to be a member of SCI. You don't have to be a member of any organization. If you just want to come help.
uh
And so, that's the thing with these wildlife water catchments is it benefits all wildlife. So whether you're a hunter or not, it's going to benefit you to be able to see wildlife and keep wildlife healthy on the landscape.
Right. And so are all of them repaired now, or do you do like X number of them this year and then we'll go back and do some more next year? Is it an ongoing deal?
So once we repair a wildlife water catchment, we do maintenance on it. So, go back and recoat the surface and seal the surface. But we have touched all the wildlife water catchments in southern Arizona that the Arizona Department of Game and Fish wanted repairs on.
Okay. Very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
so we've done 14 wildlife water catchments, full refurbish, and then all those are on a maintenance schedule now.
And so what is like the annual rainfall in this area? Why are
Uh,
these things
it,
so important?
it varies because there's not a lot of rainfall, and we've been in a drought period here for a while. And there in Arizona, there's only one natural lake, right?
Hmm.
And it's pretty far up north and doesn't hold a ton of water. And there's not a lot of river systems or stream systems that hold water year round in southern Arizona. And so the majority of the wildlife drink from either private water sources on private ranch lands or deeded lands where they're deeded state lands or deeded federal lands where there's um, cattle tanks or these wildlife water catchments.
Hmm. Okay. So their importance is paramount for the survival of these animals.
Yeah, there's
Um,
probably more evaporation than precipitation in Arizona.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so just another example of the work on the ground that Safari Club International does here in the U.S. And this is specific to Southern Arizona, but we have chapters all over the United States doing similar stuff and
Oh yeah.
making an investment back into the wildlife because at the end of the day, that's what SCI is all about. So, very cool project. The YouTube hasn't been released yet, but it will be up, I think, pretty soon if folks want to go check it out. It's about an 8-minute video, and it just kind of captures exactly what you guys are doing in more detail and with video support there to let people see what you guys have been up to. So very cool, man. Yeah, it's awesome. What do you think y'all's next thing will be?
Um, well,
And you
we're
can also
doing
talk
it.
about these camps too. You mentioned these camps, and I didn't know anything about those.
Yeah, so we our largest event is our junior deer camp, and that is every November. It falls within a youth hunt draw tag, and it encompasses three wildlife management units: 36A, B, and C. We have about 45 tag holders in camp, and their families and friends or whoever brings them. And so this year we fed about 172 people
Mm,
every day, and we provide all the food, we do all the cooking. um, so we have a big camp trailer with all the equipment, and we also provide mentorship for those people who need mentors in the field. So there's some families or young individuals who've never hunted before, right? They got involved and they're out there and they don't know where to go, what to do, how to take care of the animal once it's been harvested, things like that. And so we're able to provide mentorship in the field that, just helps them and explain to them, the hunting process and what wildlife conservation is about and safety. And it's a great camp. It starts on Thursday evening and goes to Sunday morning, so it's about
hmm
3 days of participation. And
But they're not
you know,
they're not actively hunting.
they are actively hunting, right?
Okay,
So they're actively hunting. They
all of
have a
these
deer
and these
tag.
are all youth hunters.
So yeah, anybody under the
Okay,
age of 18,
that has
between
drawn a
the ages
tag.
of between the ages of 10 and 18. In Arizona, you have to be 10 years old to hunt big game.
Uh-huh.
And what's nice with that youth deer tag is that you have the option to buy what they call a companion javelina tag. So you can go to the Arizona Game and Fish Office and just buy a javelina tag to accompany you on that deer hunt. So if you happen to run into some javelina, they have the option to shoot a javelina as well.
And this is on public land.
It's on public land, yeah.
Okay, very
Yep, we
cool.
hunt Arizona State Trust land. We also hunt some Forest Service lands, and we also hunt the Buenos Aires National Wildlife Refuge.
Okay,
And
yeah,
so we
that's
have a
awesome.
group campsite out there where we built a 40 by 40 steel structure. It's a big ramada with a concrete slab. We've got 38 established campsites, and it's a great time.
And this is all from SCI.
All from SCI. It's completely free to the participants.
Huh.
The Arizona chapter of SCI has been doing it for a long
That's
time.
super cool. Yeah.
Yep, our next event, we're doing a what we call it's a cleanup event. So we go pick up trash. We're doing it at at Red Rock Feedlot, which is a big, popular dove hunting destination.
Uh-huh.
So we're going out there and picking up trash and making sure that it's clean and things like that. And then we also do free fishing days. So the first Saturday of June in Arizona is free fishing day. You don't need a fishing license to fish. And so we host an event where we bring out, fishing poles and tackle and bait,
Mm.
and we get, you know, anybody who wants to come out hooked on fishing. We cook lunch, we provide instruction. It's a great time.
That's a far cry from the misconception that we are just a bunch of guys that like to go hunt internationally.
Yeah,
We're providing tackle and lunch to kiddos to try to get them hooked on fishing here in Arizona. Awesome.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, that's what's nice is that, some of these opportunities take time to get a tag, right? Not everybody's going to draw a deer tag every year. Some of these youth, don't draw a deer tag for a couple years. So you want to get them out there doing something that
mhm,
gets them involved, because the most important thing that people have is this in this day and age is time, right?
mhm.
Uh, their time is more precious than money in most instances. I mean, they've got other extracurricular activities, their parents work. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm without computer internet service for a few days, emails, text messages, Teams messages,
Oh yeah.
work just piles up. I mean, you get over 300 emails a day. It's just insane. And you go on vacation, you come back to this nightmare, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, time is the most important thing that we have to manage. Is mentors. Like being a mentor, you're donating your time, but you're also trying to make the most of somebody else's time, right?
Mm.
Because they're giving up other things to allow you to show them what hunting is all about, fishing is all about, what wildlife conservation is all about. And so when you get that opportunity as volunteers and mentors, you have to make sure that you capitalize. And every year I tell our mentors, hey, we're not guides out here, right? We're not just trying to kill animals. We're not just trying to harvest animals. You're out there teaching people, speak your thoughts out loud, right? We're always like, oh, I need to look over here or look at this sign. But, when you see that stuff or you think that, explain it to everybody
Right.
because, you know, that's what's going to get most of the people hooked is the process, right? What makes you successful? Where do you, why are you looking in this area? Why did you decide to turn around? Why at 10 a.m. do you decide to move from the shady slopes to the sunny slopes. You know what I mean? It just
Hmm.
there's different things like
Yeah.
that.
Well, and I think that's important that Arizona's the law is you have to be 10 to hunt big game.
You have to be 10 to hunt
We
big
don't have
game.
any law in Texas. You can be 4. You know, I think my son shot his first animal. He was 6 or 7. Um, but the point is that there's Western states where it's like 13, 14, 15. Dude, the difference between 10 and 13 in those 3 years, you've lost half of the potential hunters, would be hunters, because they have moved on to, first of all, they're all addicted to their devices. And then they get involved with sports. And my kids are no different. I mean, they're in club soccer and it's a beating, but it keeps them active, it keeps them in shape, and it teaches them discipline. And I have no illusion. I'm not putting them in club sports to like think that they're getting college scholarships. That's not why I'm doing it. But we are slaves to it to some degree. Um, but my kids have been. It's different. I mean, I do this for a living, so they don't know any different. But it is a real thing. Like by the age of 13, if a kid hasn't been hunting, he's probably not going to start.
Right.
Probably not. There are exceptions, but I mean, you lose them in this, especially in this instant gratification age that we live in. And I think that's a real problem. I think some of the Western states need to re-examine those laws because and all they need to do is look at the history, like so take a 10-year look at their youth hunting license sales. Do you think those numbers are up or down?
You're definitely down.
Right. So look at that and say, hey, how do we do better here? And the first thing you could do is drop that age, and maybe take them, maybe have them do hunter education to in order to get the license at whatever age, and make them prove that they are a proficient shot. I'd have no problem with that, but we got to do something because we're losing people that never even got in the game. They never even
Right.
experienced it. So I don't know. I think
Yeah. And
we.
another thing that we've come across is, adults, right? Parents, or even just adults, right? That are trying to get into hunting,
Mm,
like late onset hunters, right? Well, there's no, there's not very many camps for adults, right?
mm,
Not very many opportunities for them to be mentored unless they know somebody personally. And so one of our members, he started learn to hunt adult camp a few years ago.
cool.
It's been very successful, right? So adults who need help, it's the same as a youth camp. We provide food, cooking, or somebody else provides food and cooking. We loan our equipment quite a bit to other organizations, and so last year we loaned our equipment to uh, an organization that did that Learn to Hunt adult camp, and
Mm,
it you know, I don't know how many times where we get a, a youth in camp whose parents have never shot a big game animal, right?
mm,
And so they're relying on us to teach them so that they can further their child's desire to go hunting.
mm-hmm.
There was
You know
a
what? I think those parents deserve a lot of credit because if they're
oh
not
yeah,
hunters themselves and their kids like, Dad, Mom, Dad, I want to go hunting. Okay, they could easily say, "Nah, we don't know how to do that or facilitate that," you know.
yeah. I mean,
But
there's
these
a lot of
these
barriers to for adults to get into hunting, right? The whole firearms aspect. Like, how do I buy a firearm? Like,
mhm,
I don't know the rules and legalities of buying a firearm, or reading the regulations. It's foreign to them. I mean, it's foreign to people who are into hunting that come from other states, right?
mhm.
Imagine if you didn't grow up hunting and you're trying to figure out the regulations, the draw system, where to put in, when to put in, how do I put in, what license do I need, right? Like
Nah,
stuff that,
just sign up over at Hunting Fool and let them do it for you. Tell them
yeah,
the
that's
states you
true.
want to apply for. Oh, it's so easy. I love them. Do they keep my life organized? I apply in probably 10 or 12 different states for all
Hmm.
kinds of different stuff. And because it's not there's no standard where, all the states like on this day we close applications. It's every state's different. And when you're
Oh yeah.
applying for that many, I was missing them left and right. And I'm like, damn, this year I missed Montana. And the next year I'm like, crap, I missed Wyoming. No, never again. No, it's the last 5 or 6 years I've just had you give them your credit card and then they just take care of it.
Yeah, that's the
and,
best way to
and I
do it. I
just
mean, like,
watch my preference points stack up and I never miss anything.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, I use that application service for Colorado. It's real easy.
Yeah.
Um,
That's great. Whichever one you go with. I mean,
yeah.
do you apply anywhere else?
Uh, I hunt New Mexico,
Uh,
and I'll probably be hunting Texas a lot now.
why?
Ton of mule deer in Texas or in Colorado. A ton of mule deer.
Yeah, but you said Texas.
Oh, I meant Colorado.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I shot this bull on public land in New Mexico with my bow at
Hmm.
15 yards right in the chest. It was awesome.
Man, let's
Big
see
fan of
here.
the frontal shot with a bow. It's
How do I choose this?
oh, we're all right. Here we go.
I shot
Oh,
that bull in Arizona,
oh
late
yeah,
rifle tag.
that's awesome. How many points did it take to draw that guy?
I don't know, like 4 points.
Wow, some nice
So,
muleys and coues deer there.
yeah,
That's
get all
cool.
my Christmas stuff in there.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, John, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for all you guys are doing at the Arizona chapter to give back to not just the wildlife, but the local community and the next generation of hunters. Taking these kids, teaching them how to hunt, and providing food and mentorship to not just them, but those parents that may have never hunted before either, or really don't know what they're you know. Your kid expresses an interest in something, you want to support them, right? So
Right.
these parents, but there's a lot of limiting factors there. The parents don't know what the hell they're doing, so you guys are showing them as well. So good stuff, man. If folks wanted to support you guys in any way, what is y'all's website? Do y'all have any other
It's
fundraisers like a raffle or anything? I mean, we just
Yeah, yeah, we do online raffles.
okay.
Um, and then our annual banquet is the end of June,
Uh-huh.
typically, and it's at a nice resort in town. You can make a nice staycation of it. But you can go to azsci.com. That's our
Okay,
website, and it's got our links to our social media pages as well.
right on, man. Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure I'll see you in Nashville coming up here February 18th through the 21st.
Yeah, if you ever draw an Arizona tag, look me up.
Well, I'd have to start applying first, but maybe I will.
You should start applying.
I'm gonna
You can apply
be I'm
all
gonna
the
be
other states. Might
60,
as well.
70 years old by the time I draw an elk tag.
We want to shoot an elk with your bow. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I don't think you need that many points for certain units, to be honest with you.
All
Talk
right.
to talk talk to the guys at Hunting Pool, right?
Yeah, I'll be calling
Tell
hunting
them,
full here.
tell them when your expectations are, and tell them that you don't want to wait 20 years.
Yeah. Well, I just physically don't think I don't know. I hope I'm still doing it at 65 years old, but you know, I feel the aches and pains more than I ever have before. So,
Yeah, I think it's the eyesight for me, close up stuff, right? I need some readers now. That's
right?
the biggest change in my life right now.
Yeah. Well, and bow hunting, my vision hasn't started to go to the degree that I notice it every day. But when I'm looking through my peep, I'm like, I don't see as well as I once did. That was like
Yeah.
what the moment I realized, it's not quite what it used to be. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Appreciate the time.
Likewise, likewise. We'll see you in Nashville.
Sounds good. I look forward to it.
All right.
Thanks, Cable.